In the mysterious and intrigue-filled world of the young and the restless, every character has a past that is full of twists and turns. And for Victor Newman, the powerful and cunning tycoon, his past has always been a nightmare that has never been revealed. However, those pieces of the puzzle are about to be revealed, and Michael Baldwin will be the one to open doors that have been locked for a long time. In a special Y&R video, Michael begins to realize that Victor is keeping a bigger secret than he thought. "It sounds like you and Dumas have a history that I don't know about," Michael says in a curious tone, a question that immediately catches Victor's attention. Michael has always been good at gathering information, but this time, he is curious not only about what Victor is doing in the present, but also about the ghosts of the past that this powerful man is hiding. Victor, who did not easily reveal his innermost feelings, replied in a cryptic way, "Yes, I had a relationship with Aristotle Dumas. But clearly, it was not a relationship that I would like to remember." This short but heavy sentence made Michael wonder. Everyone knew that Victor was a person who was not easily hurt by the past, but what he said about Aristotle Dumas gave a strange feeling. There was something very dark in their past that no one knew about. Victor and Aristotle Dumas's horrifying past. Michael's question was not simply about Victor having worked with Aristotle Dumas. It opened up a long story full of surprises, with complicated relationships and dangerous secrets. Before becoming the head of the Newman Empire, Victor had a past full of mistakes and bad decisions that he would never let come to light. Aristotle Dumas, known as one of the most ruthless swindlers and manipulators in the upper class, was once an important partner of Victor in his early days. But what few people know is that their relationship was not limited to work. Dumas was not only a partner, but also a dangerous enemy with dark plans that only Victor fully understood. According to insiders, Aristotle Dumas constantly created chaos in Victor's life. They used to be friends, but gradually, Dumas revealed his true colors, using tricks to manipulate and threaten Victor's family. In a fierce confrontation between the two, Dumas did not hesitate to use both violence and psychological tricks to put Victor in a situation from which he could not escape. Their meetings are not just business discussions, but also tense battles of wits, where either side can sacrifice the other to win. These will be revealed in the next parts of the story, when Michael decides to dig deeper into Victor's past. He will discover that the battle between Victor and Dumas is not just a struggle for power or money, but also a battle for trust, honor, and survival. The names that Victor once considered allies will now become ghosts of his past, making him unable to escape the hauntings he has tried to forget. A dangerous confrontation now. As secrets are starting to be revealed, Michael will be the one standing in the middle, not only as an old friend of Victor but also as someone closely connected to the events that are taking place. Michael understands that any information about Victor's past could change the entire course of this world of intrigue. He must decide what to do with the truths he discovers. Michael's conversation with Victor will be just the beginning of a series of shocking revelations. As Victor's dark past with Aristotle Dumas is revealed, the names of the upper echelons will be confronted with truths they have tried to keep hidden. Power struggles, betrayals and forgotten friendships will lift the veil of previously unknown secrets, bringing about huge changes not only for Victor but for all the characters on The Young and the Restless. The big questions Michael asks will not only lead to an understanding of Victor's past, but also put him in danger that could bring down everything Victor has built. And while Victor will certainly do everything to protect these secrets, Michael will face a difficult choice. Will he continue to be a loyal friend, or will he become a truth-teller, upending everything Victor has built? In the world of intrigue, conspiracy, and secrecy on The Young and the Restless, each character has a complicated past. However, there is no denying that Victor Newman is one of the most unpredictable, who is not afraid to get into trouble if it helps him protect his family and his empire. Especially when his relationship with Aristotle Dumas, a prominent figure in the upper class, broke down and became a bloody feud that continues to this day. The first meeting, can we be allies? The first day Victor and Aristotle Dumas met could be described as a promising handshake. Both are powerful people, with separate goals in life. Victor is uncompromising in building his Newman empire, while Aristotle is always looking for opportunities to control everything around him. At first glance, the relationship between the two men seems like a perfect combination of visionary and business-minded power. However, there is one thing that not everyone immediately realizes: Aristotle Dumas is not the type of man who keeps his promises. With his greed and manipulative personality, Dumas quickly begins to show dishonest moves. It is at this point that Victor begins to realize that the relationship with Dumas is not an equal partnership, but a dangerous game that Dumas is trying to exploit. The turning point: Aristotle's betrayal. Tensions between Victor and Aristotle Dumas begin to rise when Aristotle commits a major fraud without warning. It all starts with an important negotiation between the two, a negotiation that Victor thought would greatly expand his empire. However, Aristotle took advantage of Victor's trust and secretly signed a deal with Victor's rival, in order to take away a valuable asset that Victor had worked hard to build over the years. When Victor discovered this betrayal, he could not contain his anger. Victor's trust was not easily broken, but once it was betrayed, the consequences were inevitable. This led to a tense confrontation between the two, where the cruelty and ego of both sides were exposed. Victor, with his strong and uncompromising personality, decided that this hatred would never end easily. That was when their relationship officially entered a war with no way out. Victor uncompromising, confrontation and hatred. Victor Newman is not the type of person to forgive easily, especially when the values he fought for are threatened. Determined to protect his family and his empire, Victor did not hesitate to go to any lengths to get revenge on Aristotle. And as their feud reached its peak, the ruthless means Victor used became increasingly more brutal. One of the major moves Victor made to take down Aristotle was to exploit the dark secrets that Dumas was hiding. While Aristotle had always considered himself an influential person, many people did not know that he had been involved in illegal activities. This became a strategic card in Victor's hands, when he discovered that Aristotle had not only been dishonest in his business dealings but also had dangerous connections to criminal organizations. When these secrets were exposed, there was nothing Aristotle Dumas could do to save the situation. His empire collapsed quickly, and everyone realized that Victor Newman had won this ruthless battle. However, while Victor may feel satisfied that he defeated his enemy, the long-term effects of this war have left him facing consequences that no one could have foreseen. Aristotle Dumas, from enemy to loser backed into a corner, Aristotle Dumas has no choice but to defend himself. However, instead of bowing down to defeat, he tries to find new opportunities, despite knowing that his empire has been crushed by Victor. Aristotle's pride and ambition do not allow him to accept defeat easily, and he continues to harbor a grudge against Victor, despite knowing that confronting someone like Victor is to bring about his own destruction. Throughout the upcoming episodes of The Young and the Restless, this story will not stop at just a simple revenge. The past between Victor and Aristotle will continue to affect many other characters, especially those involved in the deals and events that Victor and Aristotle were involved in. As more secrets are revealed, those behind Aristotle's betrayal will face consequences they could not have imagined. Victor Newman and Aristotle Dumas' bloody revenge, a bloody battle that has no end. On The Young and the Restless, each character has a past filled with secrets, and the battles between them are never simple. One of the biggest feuds in Genoa City's history is the confrontation between Victor Newman, the boss of the Newman family, and Aristotle Dumas, a shadowy figure with a past filled with manipulation and intrigue. While it may seem like the war between Victor and Aristotle has been resolved, the reality is much more complicated. Aristotle's revenge plots are not over, and the war is far from over. From feud to tense revenge after being defeated by Victor Newman and stripped of all his power, Aristotle Dumas faced a bitter defeat. However, instead of bowing down and accepting defeat, Aristotle sought to come back stronger. The relationship between Victor and Aristotle, which began with cooperation but quickly turned into fierce hatred, now continues on a new battlefield: Aristotle's revenge. Victor may have, for a moment, acted forcefully to quell Aristotle's resistance, but with a man like Dumas, everything can change. In the shadows, Aristotle has been quietly rebuilding his power, taking advantage of every opportunity to take revenge. And now, when information about the past of the two is revealed, no one can predict the price Victor will have to pay. A secret war is still going on and shows no signs of stopping. Victor worried, new conspiracies are forming. Victor Newman, despite facing countless threats and standing on the brink of destruction many times, cannot completely ignore Aristotle's dark conspiracies. Although Victor defeated Aristotle in the past, the grudge between them has not been truly resolved. Aristotle, who is capable of manipulating others and does not hesitate to use any means to achieve his goals, is certainly not an easy opponent. This makes Victor feel worried. Although Aristotle has temporarily retreated after his defeats against Victor, no one can predict how strong he will return. Aristotle's revenge plans do not stop at regaining what was lost, but may also be a larger plot, a strategy to completely overthrow Victor's power. In private conversations, Victor often cannot hide his concern about Aristotle's retaliation, especially when the connection between Aristotle and Damien, another character in the world of the Young and the Restless, has been discovered. This makes things much more complicated. Aristotle's ambition and calculation. Aristotle Dumas is a complex character. At first, he appeared as someone who could be Victor's ideal partner, but with his own personal intrigues, he quickly became a formidable enemy. With his skillful plotting and manipulation, Aristotle always knew how to hide his true goals. However, with the secrets he kept, his relationships with important figures in the city, and his clever use of power, Aristotle was gradually becoming a formidable name that anyone had to fear. It can be said that Aristotle was a character capable of creating complex conspiracies, far beyond the usual power struggles. He not only dealt with Victor but also manipulated everyone around him, making anyone in Genoa City a possible pawn in his plan. When the relationship between Damien and Aristotle was exposed, the danger that Aristotle brought became clearer than ever. Victor and the Winters family. Anxiety about a new relationship. One of the factors that complicates the relationship between Victor and Aristotle is the connection between Aristotle and the Winters family, especially between Aristotle and Damien. Ever since this connection was discovered, Victor has been worried about what will happen to the Winters family, whom he has always considered important in his life. Victor, despite his cold and tough exterior, always shows special concern when it comes to his family and loved ones. Aristotle's relationship with Damien may be one of the important factors that makes Victor worried. Damien, a character that Victor has helped in the past, may now become a serious threat to the Winters family if Aristotle really starts playing his game with this family. Protecting the Winters family, especially as these complex relationships are revealed, will be no small challenge for Victor. Aristotle, Genoa City's new enemy? With his dark schemes, Aristotle is not only a threat to Victor and the Newman family. He could become the new bad guy in Genoa City, making everyone fear him. His manipulation and use of relationships to achieve his goals have become his hallmark. Now, with his grand schemes gradually revealed, Aristotle is not only an enemy to one family but could be a threat to the entire city. Aristotle's every move is carefully calculated, and could easily change the political and social landscape of the Young and the Restless. He will stop at nothing to achieve his ultimate goal. And while the other characters in Genoa City are still unaware of Aristotle's danger, Victor is starting to fear for everything he has built, especially when the connections between Aristotle and other influential figures are revealed. Conclusion: the game of power. The feud between Victor Newman and Aristotle Dumas is far from over. In fact, it could escalate further, leading to new power struggles in Genoa City. Victor may fear Aristotle's revenge plot, but he's no pushover. With his calculations and schemes, Aristotle will stop at nothing to achieve his goals. From this point on, nothing can go wrong on the Young and the Restless. Every character must be on their guard, and Victor, no matter how powerful, will face a major challenge: how to protect his family and his empire in a world where his enemies are constantly growing.